40unbox.com here, and we're going to be checking out this video by Mr. Beast called I Spent $1 Million on Lottery Tickets and Won. And this is actually a really important video to watch. One is probably going to be an amazing video on itself because it is Mr. Beast that we're talking about. But a lot of people play the lottery thinking they are actually going to win and make money playing the lottery long term. Guess what? You are going to lose 99.999999999% of the money that you're going to spend playing the lottery, and this is a perfect example, so let's get right into it.
I spent $1 million on Scratch Off tickets.
You're good.
No joke, I bought so many that they literally had to deliver them in a dump truck.
I could have bought dozens of cars, multiple houses, and so many other things, but instead we have $1 million in Scratch Off tickets.
Now, this is also like a pretty crazy thing that he just put out, right? Because here's the thing. If he were to put $1 million in, let's say, the S&P 500, in an index fund, basically, roughly every 10 years, it would double. So the $1 million will turn into 2 million, 2 million will turn into 4 million, 4 million will turn into 8 million, and 8 million will turn into 16 million, right? And so on and so on and so on. And that's how you could generate generational wealth to where you can not outspend the amount of money that is actually making. Right? This is the crazy thing about it. He could easily do something like that and literally never worry about money ever again. Which, by the way, if you were ever to be lucky enough to win the lottery, that is what you should do. You should put your money into basically your own house, maybe 1 or 2 rental properties, and the rest into mutual funds and index funds, and you would never have to worry about money ever again.
Here's how it works. You take a ticket, you scan it, and boom, this $50 ticket won $200.
And this is the thing. A lot of people may not know this, but the people who play the lottery the most tend to be people who are making below $40,000 a year before taxes, okay? Keep that in mind. And you're potentially spending a few $100s per month, maybe a few $1,000s per year on lottery tickets, hoping that you are going to be lucky enough to be a big winner. Now, here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with spending excess money that you have on lottery tickets, right? There's nothing wrong with that. As long as it's money that is excess, meaning it's after you've already taken care of your necessities, like the roof over your head, food, etc., right? Your bills, that kind of thing. And then also after you enjoy some part of your life as well, right? You want the money that you spend on this, basically the equivalent of you just buying yourself a cookie because you felt like having a cookie that day. Where it would have literally no financial impact on your life. That's when you should be buying a lottery ticket, when you don't actually need money badly.
So far, we're up $150 with one ticket. $100, $0, $0, $100, 50, 50, 0, 0, $100. I've already scanned over $1,000 worth of Scratch Off tickets, and I'm currently down $200.
He's already in the negative this early. Now, here's another thing, too, that a lot of people do not understand about playing the lottery. The only way to actually increase your odds of winning the lottery is to literally buy more lottery tickets. That is the only way to improve your chances.
Whoops. This is going to take forever. Chandler, come help.
I can't believe this is actually $1 million.
I know, it's crazy. How much did you win?
0.
Of course.
Now, I'm not going to lie. This would actually be something super fun to actually go and do, right? Maybe not $1 million, because I mean, to have $1 million to just burn basically throughout this whole thing is pretty insane when you think about it, right? Like, because no matter what, unless he were to actually have like a really like big lottery win, there's no way that he's going to be making his money back from this video. In terms of like from the amount of money that he spent on the lottery tickets. Now, he has like 67 million views on this video, plus all the sales that he got from like his t-shirts, merchandise, products, all that kind of stuff, and sponsorship deals. He probably has turned a profit from this video. That being said, this is going to probably be the equivalent of you spending $1,000 to only make $800 back, or basically giving back to you $800, right? So basically, it's like you give me $1,000, and I promise to give you $800. So I'm keeping your $200, basically, right? Like it's pretty nuts.
Carl, we have $1 million in tickets. I need help.
Why didn't you just get less money?
I didn't think of that. And after scanning $10,000 worth of tickets, we only made $7,900. I'm gonna call him back up. When I bought $100,000 worth of tickets in this video, it took us 17 hours to scan them. Which is why I brought all these people here today to help me scan $1 million.
Like, imagine having to have like a massive team just to scratch off lottery tickets. And I believe I remember hearing in like a podcast that like his team nowadays is like 100 people plus, which is pretty crazy.
Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Gentle. And obviously, since everyone here is helping me, I want to help them. Attention, everybody. I'll give you guys 10% of it. So if we win $10 million, you each get 100 grand.
Let's go!
Now that's pretty cool.
Watch this. Boom! All the tickets are gone. There's a flailing Chris.
What happened?
What happened is we put all the tickets neatly organized on this table.
I did it all by myself. My job is to make sure people have tickets to scan. Chandler,
So right now they're like in like a $7,000 hole.
there's a 10 miller in here. Here's more tickets.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sweaty.
Wow. So his last...
Now the crazy thing about this, right, to like keep this in mind, he probably had to have so much security around all these lottery tickets, because you got to think about it, right? Technically speaking, any one of these tickets could have been a multi-million-dollar winner, right? So he probably had like one of those like security cash truck people, right? The Brinks or whatever, like that equivalent of security to like deal with this sort of stuff, right? Because this is practically like cash, but not just cash, but basically like untraceable cash, because you could just like, you know, scan this at basically any sort of retailer under $500 and just get cash, and no one is ever going to know. Like, it's a pretty crazy thing. So he probably had to have a lot of security.
Last few tickets are 150, 200, 150, 200. He's not losing. This is what I like to hear. He's won 10 in a row.
No, he hasn't.
Yeah. All right, but Carl Turbo.
Go ahead, go ahead.
$500! Holy crap!
Now that's nice. By the way, personal story. One time when I was going to get like groceries, I decided to get a lottery ticket just for the fun of it, right? Because I wasn't really hurting for money. I was just like, I don't really buy lottery tickets that often. Might as well, just for the hell of it. So I bought a lottery ticket. It was like a $10 lottery ticket. And I didn't even bother like scratching it off, right? Like, you know, scratching all the numbers and all that stuff, right? Like, I just couldn't be bothered, right? So I literally just bought the ticket and then handed it to the lottery lady in the store, and I found out I won $500 off of a $10 lottery scratch off that I've never even looked at it or even played it. I literally just was like bam bam and got $500. And after I did that, I didn't spend that money. I just kept it inside my wallet, right? So it's just something that you gotta really understand. If you were to win a good amount on a lottery ticket, don't just immediately go and buy more lottery tickets because more than likely you're going to just lose all of that money.
500.
500, baby, Carl! How am I the only person that hasn't gotten $500?
Sucks.
Carl, you lost your right to a computer.
No!
I love how we're just.
Another thing to really think about it too, right? Like this is how you can easily get a lot of people who may not be making a lot of money hooked onto lottery tickets. If you end up having people play like a $10 or $20 lottery ticket scratch off game and they win like $500 or $1,000 often enough, not like every single time they play, but often enough, in their minds they're like, oh wow, like I don't even gotta work for like a week right now. Like, think of it like that. That's how like insidious some of these lottery games can actually be, and how addictive they can be to a lot of people. I mean, for like again a personal story, I had a conversation with a lottery lady, right? You know, at like one of the like grocery stores that they, you know, also do lottery tickets. And she told me of a story how every single month, on the first of the month, every month, there was this guy that would come in with his whole social security check, cash every single thing out of it, and put all of it into scratch off tickets every single month. We're talking potentially hundreds, if not thousands of dollars per month, every month, going straight into lottery tickets. Like, that's a pretty crazy thing. And like, the person wasn't young. They were like in their like mid to late 60s, early 70s. Like, you probably need that money at that time frame. Like, it's a really crazy thing.
Just making jokes and being idiots, but this is literally $1 million. Honestly, I feel like I'm kind of numb at this point. Like, this is $10,000. Here you go.
Winner claim at lottery?
For tickets above $1,000, it doesn't tell you on the app. You actually have to scratch it. Carl, here's the luckiest quarter in the world.
I'm really bad at being able to tell if I've won.
Carl won a.
Okay, so that's interesting because basically, like, every single one of these tickets are for $5 million for like a prize. Hold on. So let's go back.
For tickets above $1,000, it doesn't tell you on the app. You actually have to scratch it. Carl, here's the luckiest quarter in the world.
I'm really bad at being able
I think this is like either, I think this might be like a $40 ticket or a $30 ticket for each one.
to tell if I've won.
Carl won $1,000, which is good. Hey,
$1,000, that's pretty nice.
it's more than you won, but it's not 10 million. Back to scratching.
Now, this is a side note. Imagine you were to actually win $10 million, whether it be from the lottery or from anything else. What would you do with $10 million, right? Like, how would you manage that money? Would you spend all that money? Would you structure it in a way where that money will last forever so you never have to actually work ever in your life if you don't want to? Would you go travel, right? Like, this is something that, like, I think almost everyone has asked themselves or had a conversation with someone like, hey, what would I do or what would you do if we were to have won the lottery, right? For example, I have this conversation with a family member often because sometimes I just stumble upon these stories about people, you know, randomly winning the lottery or winning a massive lottery and then like literally losing hundreds of millions of dollars in the next couple of days, right? And the way that I've always stated it is that it really depends on my mental state at the time of me winning. So what I mean by this, a lot of times the way that people can accept lottery winnings is that they can accept it either in a lump sum. So, like, let's say that they win $10 million after taxes, lump sum, all that kind of stuff, right? They're more so looking like around $5 million after everything's said and done, right? So, that's what you would actually receive into your bank account after all your expenses, taxes are taken care of as well. Which is still a really nice number, but it's not 10 million. Or you could take like 20 payments, so every single year for 20 years or 25 years, depending on how it's structured on the ticket, you'll get a certain amount of money every single year, no matter what, right? Now here's the thing. It is technically smarter to take the lump sum if you were to invest that money, because you could make more money than the amount of money that you would end up getting from the annual payments. The only problem is a lot of people are not smart with their money. Keep in mind, we mentioned that the people who tend to play the lottery the most tend to be people who are making lower incomes, right? And actually, the segment of the population that plays the lottery the most out of anyone is poverty level income, right? People who really should not be playing the lottery are the ones that are typically playing the lottery the most, which is really disturbing to find out. So you gotta keep that in mind. They have basically no money. They basically have no experience with any amount of money. They pretty much have never had any money inside their bank account. They probably barely, if not even, live paycheck to paycheck, right? They probably are dealing with a lot of government assistance as well, if that, right? And then they win the lottery. If you're in that situation, you should not take the lump sum amount. You should take the annual payment amount. And the reason for that is because it allows you to screw up with your money, but not end up being completely broke forever. Because you could screw up the first annual payment, even the second annual payment, even up to the fifth annual payment, maybe even up to the 10th annual payment. But you still have 10 years left of still getting money, right? Like you are still being able to rely on a source of income every single year, even if you were to screw up. So it gives you a lot of buffer. And you gotta also like be honest with yourself too, like, hey, am I financially responsible enough with dealing with this large sum of money? Can I handle a lump sum of $5 million? You gotta like really like be honest with yourself and be like, hey, can I or can I not? If you cannot, take the annual payments. If you can, take the lump sum, invest that money, and grow that 5 million to like 15, 20 million in like 10 years, 15 years. Something to think about.
All right, everybody, read this number.
302905.
That's how much we spent. How much have we lost?
Oh, 78,000?
We've only lost 78 grand! During the time lapse, I had them hold all their winning tickets. How many of you guys have one? This is a winning ticket. This is a winning ticket. This ticket was $1,000. This ticket was $1,000. This ticket was $1,000. This ticket was $1,000. But this ticket was $900.
Wait, really?
Back to work, I guess. We still have $700,000 worth of tickets remaining. Oh, that scared me a little bit.
Can you get out of my seat?
So far, I've won $250,000. And at this rate, I'm gonna win $700,000. All the money I win in this video, I'm gonna use to buy a private island. And they don't know this, but I'm gonna host a Survivor competition with all 10 of the people scanning on the island. And whoever wins the competition gets to keep the island.
I gotta say, out of any YouTuber out there, this Mr. Beast, Jimmy Donaldson, has the best concepts I have ever seen for like any video. I mean, think about it, right? Like, think about coming up with the idea of spending $1 million on lottery tickets to raise money to buy an island to give it to one of the people that are helping you raise the money to buy the island. Like, it's just so crazy.
No joke. I hope you guys win a lot of money.
What are you winking at the camera for?
Nothing.
What a suspicious boy.
Everyone, we crossed the $400,000 spent mark. That's 40% of the way. We've won 300 grand. So right now, we're only on track to lose $250,000. I can live with that. It's been a very long day.
Isn't that crazy to hear? He could live with a $250,000 loss. Most people can't even deal with like a $10 loss, right? I mean, think about it. The amount of people right now that are like suffering from gas prices right now, oh, they are suffering. And if you're suffering out there, I feel for you. This is why you need to have an emergency fund. This is why you need to have no debt in your life, which, by the way, if you don't want debt, learn how to get rid of your debt by going to 40inbox.com. Like, here's the thing. Like, a lot of people really need to understand that it's not really always about how much money you spend, but how much money you spend in relation to how much you make, right? So, for example, if you follow this super simple financial concept, you will live a pretty much good life, financially speaking. Spend less than what you make, and you will live a pretty good life, regardless of the amount of money that you're making, right? This is where you could get into a situation where you see a plumber making $50,000 to $70,000, depending on the location, who might actually be richer than a lawyer, than a doctor, than a dentist, than a teacher. Well, some teachers, like university teachers, can actually make a really good amount of money. That's why I kind of mentioned them, because I've seen a couple university teachers literally drive Ferraris. Like, it's absolutely crazy. But you gotta like think about it like that. Like, it's never really how much money you make, it's how much you spend in relation to how much you make, right? This is why you end up seeing a lot of celebrities end up getting broke. For example, recently, Amber Heard lost the whole defamation trial against Johnny Depp, and she has no money to actually pay the bill. Like, she has no money to pay the settlement because she spent it all. Even though she got $7 million from Johnny Depp, even though she made millions of dollars from her movie career, acting career, right? She has no money because she had a spending problem. Think about that for a second. So now she's in a very dire situation where she can't even afford to actually pay off her legal bills right now.
I want you guys to go home. You guys at 5 a.m.
5 a.m.
All right, see you then.
It's the next day, and I'm the first one to show up. And like I told you before, we're gonna take the money we make off these $1 million in tickets and buy an island. And when they come in today, I'm gonna reveal that's the plan to them. So I'm gonna make this set look like an island. And boom! This is our new set. We've only scanned 40% of the tickets, so at this rate, we're gonna win $700,000.
Now here's the thing, right? Like, if you were offered a $700,000 island or whatever, would you rather take that, or would you rather take a $700,000 house? I think that'd be pretty interesting to see. Or would you prefer to have like a $700,000 supercar, right? And the reason why I'm not saying like cash itself is because in every scenario, you're going to have to sell the item to actually make any money from the whole thing.
Which can buy this island. Look at it. Look how crazy that looks. And I'm gonna take the 10 people helping me scan, and one of them is getting their very own private island.
Oh, look at that. Girl Friday.
What? Oh my God, there's sand.
Yes, I didn't even. We're currently on track to make 700 grand. I'm gonna have the 10 of you compete in a survivor on the island. Winner keeps the island.
Yeah!
That will go live in a week from when I upload this.
I'm gonna win, because I'm a winner. $50, told you. I always win.
I am getting errors instead. Does that count for anything? There we go.
So, I want you to tell the viewers about Survivor a little bit.
Seriously.
Okay. My favorite show. I'm gonna win the island video because of it. I'll tell you that.
Interesting. Keep telling him about it.
Yeah.
Carl, what are you doing?
I knew there was something
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna win Survivor.
up. You never want to talk about Survivor, Jimmy.
Everybody, I have important information to show you. As you can see, we've earned $440,000.
Yeah! Pouring more on his desk.
I wanted to show you what we could buy so far. Here is a $400,000
Oh
island.
my God.
That's not a bad looking island.
Let's just go home. Let's get that.
It's a drumstick. It is a drumstick. Now, drumstick $10 million out of those tickets.
Yeah! That's how you motivate.
You know, I kind of wonder what it would be like to work in a company like this, right? 'Cause, I mean, think about it. Imagine it was your job to scratch off $1 million worth of lottery tickets today, so that you can go compete in a Survivor game show to win an island. Like, it's gotta be crazy.
We need a little bit more, 130 more.
I did it.
So far, we have spent $690,000 and 420 bucks. $690,000. Tomorrow is the final stretch. See you tomorrow. It is now the third day, and I brought some presents. This is a picture of Chandler with $10 million behind him, because we're winning $10 million today. This is Carl holding a picture of him holding $10 million. This is Carl holding Chris's baby Tucker, but we photoshopped Tucker out and put $10 million in. Here you go, Chris. You get the point.
This is literally from the future.
That's a picture of you jumping over $10 million.
That's cool.
That would actually be pretty cool to see, though.
This is day 3, the day that we finally see something exciting.
I don't even know what day it is. I'm ready to be on an island, laying out, winning.
10 million. Don't talk to me.
I'm not saying another word until I get 10 million.
Everybody, where'd Chris go?
He told me he had to talk to his wife.
What, he's a dad or something? Oh, welcome back.
I brought my son.
Yep. Chris, you made that?
I made it, dude.
I'm confused. I just don't know how you did that by yourself.
You just gotta go to the store, you fill out one form, and $500 later, you got one of these things. Nah, just kidding, you have sex.
Oh, Lord.
We have so many 36s and 38s. Whoa! Oh my God. Yo, it's actually not boring.
A $10,000 ticket. Now, this is the crazy thing. Even a $10,000 winning for some people can actually be life-changing, because that could actually pay off your credit card debt or whatever debt you might have. That might be able to help you buy a super cheap car that's pre-owned for a few years. Even in today's market, be hard, but you can do it. Like, it's crazy.
You just made everyone in the room $100.
Hey!
All right, everyone, pause real quick. Chandler, what does that number say?
$901,283.
And how much did we spend?
1 million.
Which means we only have 100 grand left. Not gonna lie, I'm getting a little nervous. We still haven't won $10 million yet. No one scan any more tickets. Give me a second.
I feel like I just got in trouble at school.
They say ladders are bad luck, but I'm getting desperate.
So we think it's gonna be good luck this time?
Yes.
All right. $100, $15.
Bad luck has been working, so I brought a mirror. I'm gonna put this in the middle so the
Trying to get bad luck to make good luck happen. Now that's interesting.
bad luck rubs off on all of you.
Oh my God! That did it.
We now have a black cat. That is as bad luck as it gets.
This is your cat.
We're at midnight.
This is the $5 million ticket. He's under a ladder, holding a black cat covered in salt beside a broken mirror. Scan.
Not a winner!
All right, well, maybe bad luck actually is bad luck. We only have about 6% of the tickets left, and I didn't know this, but you could actually hire a leprechaun. So we have
Hiring a leprechaun.
professional leprechauns here to give us good luck.
The only problem is, okay, you're hiring a leprechaun to give you good luck after you've already given yourself bad luck. Wouldn't that just make you a net zero? Hey, 100.
$500.
50 bucks.
Can't believe you can actually hire leprechauns. Why?
I have the remaining 10 tickets here.
Amount spent $999,500. The amount earned $720,971. So basically, like a $300,000 loss. That's crazy.
Chandler, here you go, please. I want to end the day with a 10 miller. 60.
$60.
All right, Ethan.
That's
100.
100 bucks.
100.
Final one.
30.
30.
100.
100.
That's the best way.
100.
Yeah, second to last ticket. Here you go.
$100 bucks.
100.
We started with 120,000 tickets, and now we have one. Before you scan it, I need to show you guys something. Come over here. Everyone stand behind the table. I went to the bank and I withdrew 70 grand because that's 10% and that's what I told you I'd
Wow. 70 grand.
give you guys. Grab 7 grand and go spend it somehow. Chris.
That would be pretty nice to have, an extra just 7 grand cash like that. That'd be pretty nice.
Scan the final ticket.
All right. I won us 10 grand before. Let's see if I can.
$100.
Just kidding. It's only 100 bucks. Our winnings from the $1 million of scratch-off tickets was 720
So $720,971.
grand. I found a $700,000 island. So this is the island. You guys are all going to compete
One of them will own this island.
to the death for. Oh my god. This is going to be a 3-video series. You just watch the first video, and the next one.
So, if you stumbled upon this, feel free to give your thoughts about it. Here's the thing, right? Like I mentioned earlier, there's nothing wrong with playing the lottery. There's nothing wrong with gambling. There's nothing wrong with going and betting on things like sports or all that kind of stuff, right? Just understand that it's extremely easy to become addicted to it. Number 2, if you're not careful, because of the addiction aspect of this sort of gaming, you could end up spending a lot of money that you cannot afford to spend. And if by some miracle that you happen to actually win the lottery and win a sizable amount of money, you have to make a very well educated and honest choice about the whole thing, whether or not you should do the lump sum or the annual payments. I think for the majority of people, you should take the annual payments, because the majority of people who play the lottery also are not financially aware enough to manage that money to the best of their abilities. And not to mention, how much are you going to really trust a lawyer? How much are you going to trust some financial manager where they might be trying to tell you some jargon about financial stuff that you have no grasp of understanding? Which, by the way, if they're trying to speak finance to you without just telling you in simple terms what A is or what B is, then guess what? You should not go with them. So you gotta be really honest with yourself. And here's the thing. This is basically the simple way to like manage your money if you were to win the lottery on any amount, right? 1, have a starter emergency fund of like $1,000 to $2,000. 2, start paying off your debt. 3, actually pay off your debt. 3, build an emergency fund. 4, start automatically investing towards your future. 5 is basically taking care of any skill sets that you're trying to like grow, whether that be education for school, university, trades, or even for your kids. And then your mortgage and retirement. But here's the thing. After you do your emergency fund and after you're automatically investing towards your future, everything after that, you can enjoy your life because that stuff will be just automated. Like the retirement investments are going to be automated. You're not going to have to think about it. Okay? That's the way to invest your money is to not think about it because the more you think about it, the more you're going to have basically decision paralysis and you're never going to actually make an investment. So keep that in mind as well. And again, just think about it, right? If you were to win like $1 million after everything's said and done, and you just left that into like an index fund, mutual fund, that kind of thing, your money will grow to multiple millions of dollars by the time that you retire. Like you could be so filthy rich without having to do anything. Like just keep that in mind. And if you want to learn how to get out of debt and master your money, go to 40inbox.com.